George St. Pierre explains why Alexander Volkanovski can still be the best fighter, despite the 2 losses to Islam Makhachev. In a recent Q&A, GSP said if you watch any sport, the team that wins is not always the best team. The best team don't always win because otherwise it would be boring. You watch it on paper and you'll make an analysis and you'll be, oh, this team will win. But that's not what happens all the time. The odds will favor a certain team, but the team that wins is the team that plays the best on the night of the game. Same thing in fighting. The fighter that will win the fight is not always the best fighter. It's the fighter that will fight the best on the night of the fight. I'm not making any excuses or anything. This is just how things happen sometimes. Kayla Harrison is confident that she will make weight in her UFC debut against Holly Holm. Kayla fought at 155 when she was in PFL, and at UFC 300 she will fight at 135. Kayla said there is a misperception out there that I walk around at like 180 pounds or something. I've walked around most of my MMA career at 165, 160, because I don't like cutting weight. I don't believe in cutting weight. I don't think it sends the right message to kids. That being said, I don't agree with this, but sometimes you have to show up and do things you don't agree with in order to make your dreams come true. The whole time I was in the PFL, I walked around at 165, maybe 160, so not only was I usually the smaller fighter with less experience, I was getting in the cage with girls who were getting in there at 180, 175 pounds. Now that's not going to be the case. Now I'm going to be the bigger, stronger, and faster, and in a lot of cases, I believe, the more experienced fighter. It's a case, I think, that I started off backwards, beginning at the higher weight, but I was able to be successful because of my pedigree and the skill set that I brought to MMA. But now I have experience and now I am seasoned. The weight cut part's going to suck, but it sucks for everyone and I'm not special. Drew Dober compares himself to Donald Cerrone because he's willing to fight whoever, whenever. Dober is scheduled to fight Renato Moicano this weekend.
What's the plan after you get this big win?
I mean, I think Chandler's gonna hold off for that Conor fight. Like, who wouldn't? I mean, we all want that red penny night and whatnot. But for me, it's whoever's available as soon as possible. I don't know how Saturday's gonna go. I might need time to get healed up, but if I don't, I want to get back in there. My objective is to have more fights, not the special fights. And I'm the type of guy that I'll fight unranked fighters. I'll fight whoever, whenever. I mean, I'm like the new Donald Cerrone over here. You just throw me in there. We'll get the job done. So 2024, I'm looking to fight 4 times. Whoever's available. If you want me to say some names, I know we got Dan Hooker, Fazeev, Jalen Turner up there. All 3 would be some fun fights, but some are injured, some aren't available. We'll see who becomes available when it's time.
Robert Whittaker says he's not worried about Paulo Costa pulling out of UFC 298. Speaking to MMAfighting.com, Rob said not really. It's always so funny with contracts and contract signing. I didn't even realize that was a thing. I haven't signed or whatever. UFC comes here and they say, hey, do you want to fight X on this date? And I say yes, right? When I say I'm in for something, that's it. I'm down. Doesn't matter whether I sign the contract today or sign it 2 days before the fight. I said I'll be there. That's what I'm doing. Whether or not I was worried about it actually falling through, not really. Like other times I would fight someone. UFC would get me to fight someone, and I think it's a good fight for him. I think it's a good fight for me. We're both high-level middleweights. We're both trying to work our way back to the top of the food chain. I don't see any reason for him not to. Sean O'Malley responded to Cory Sandhagen's recent interview with Ariel Helwani. Sandhagen said that he was going to try to acquire quote-unquote famous guy leverage in 2024.
I mean, there's famous guy leverage. I won't be around the bush. There's famous guy leverage. I'm trying to acquire some famous guy leverage. I think maybe I should start hanging out with rappers and, maybe making myself look less like a normal dude than what I do already, So maybe that'll be my 2024, rebrand is I'll get some tattoos on my face, I'll color myself, and I'll start hanging out with some rappers. But that it's just the nature of the sport. This is where sport and entertainment mix. And, a lot of people watch sports for the beauty of it, and then a lot of people watch sports for the drama of it, and it's easier to understand drama than it is to understand beauty. And so that's just the nature of everything. And he has famous guy leverage. Good on him. I'm gonna try to scoop up some of that famous leverage this year so that I can be in a more so that there's no questions hey, Cory fights for the belt next. So I'm not gonna act crazy or do anything like that. I'm still be myself, but that's a piece of the social media stuff, and all of the side games that you got to play inside the big adventure.
Sean O'Malley responded via X. Sean wrote face tat might help. KOing Aljo or beating Peter might help also. I don't know. So yesterday we reported on Dustin Poirier claiming that his UFC 299 fight against Benoit Saint Denis was off. Roughly an hour after we posted the video, Dustin posted this on X. He wrote, "Sorry folks, I jumped the gun. I couldn't get a hold of my manager for a few days. I just spoke with him and Hunter. Misunderstanding on my part. Fight is on. See you March 9th in Miami." Dana White is not happy with an MMA reporter who covered this news. Dana posted a text message conversation between him and Benoit St. Denis to his Instagram story. Benoit says, "I'm going to do everything possible to make it 6. Dana replied, "I may have done it today. Just wanted to make sure those days worked. If it's Miami, it will be 5 rounds. Co-main event at UFC 299. I'll text you later to confirm. Please do not say anything to anyone. Don't want it leaking, please." Benoit replied, "No worries, I keep it for me. March or April is okay for me." Dana replied, "March, 5 rounds. Got it done. We just filmed the announcement. Get ready, my man." Benoit replied, "Great news. Thank you very much. Let's go to battle." Now on this post, Dana wrote, "Hey Guilherme Cruz, go f*** yourself, scumbag." He followed up with this. He wrote, "You media guys are such pieces of writing whatever clickbait you can to be first and not right. This is why nobody trusts or likes you. Guilherme Cruz," and 2 middle finger emojis. Joe Rogan has just signed a new deal with Spotify for reportedly around $250 million. According to the Wall Street Journal, Joe's old deal was set to expire sometime in 2024, but now Joe will stay with Spotify for multiple more years. In this new deal, the Joe Rogan Experience will no longer be exclusive to Spotify. JRE will now be available on other streaming services. It looks like Jamahal Hill was sparring Sean Strickland today. Jamahal posted this to X. He wrote, "When you've been out for over a year, had surgery, and get cleared to light spar, of course you make Sean Strickland your very first round. No tiptoeing. We right back in the deep end. #work." Speaking of Sean, today Sean posted this to his Instagram trying to fix his bike in his living room.
Do you want to know why he's not texting you right now?
It has to be a relay issue.
Well, I can't solder. I don't feel like doing it today. So I think that.
Good split. Missed a good split.
And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from the Rooster. It says Tyron Woodley was going to leave the UFC after the Till fight, but decided to lose 4 in a row first and get cut instead. The second one's from illegal streamer 8526. It says Woodley's back again, the victim mentality. SMH. The final one's from the Eagle has landed. It says now let's wait for the Paulo Costa versus Robert Whittaker fight is canceled announcement. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.